Hey, good morning everybody. Today's word of the day is not negotiations, however, desperation. And this is mostly for you young entrepreneurs, but I feel like it can apply in so many more areas of life. And when I started my own, young modern entrepreneurial career about 10 years ago, 10 successful years, right? There's a lot of people that are on year number 1 for the 15th or 20th time. This is something I faced, and I was very headstrong like a lot of you. I was very headstrong. And at the time, there was only 2 or 3 major self-help gurus on the internet. All 3 of them I don't follow anymore because I can see how insecure they really are and how they're just trying to use success and money to fill their insecurity, right? Self-love, when you truly understand and love the 400 trillion to 1 miracle you are on the inside, it allows you to give yourself self-respect, right? When you discover yourself on the inside, your true 400 trillion to 1 unique talents, gifts, starting character, or personality, but more importantly, your spiritual mind or your creative mind, including your subconscious mind, your imagination, creativity, perception, all of that good stuff, this is when you truly awaken. And you have the self-respect to give yourself as a divine walking miracle, right? All of who you are. And you keep growing and improving yourself. But we live in this fast, technological world now where, it really just builds a lot of anxiety naturally unless if you are, like I said, awakened. Because when you're awakened and you understand your creative mind, the spiritual mind, and who you truly are on the inside, you are then able to create your own walking ecosystem, your own walking environment. And by that I mean, I talk about it, I tell all of you, you can choose what you're going to put on your Instagram feed. You can choose who you're going to follow and unfollow on your Facebook page. You can choose you're going to listen to subliminals while you study, or maybe you want to, I don't know, have some fun, maybe you're going to play a game in your house, or, play with your pet or whatever it may be, but you can choose to listen to subliminals while you do that at night. You can choose to listen to subliminals on your break or your lunch if you're by yourself, right? You can choose to listen to subliminals when you're getting ready in the morning if you have that privilege. We can choose to write real goals that ask you to become a completely new version of yourself to where the old person is obsolete. They don't exist anymore. That's how you solve your problems. You don't solve your problems by using the same mindset that got you there, the same, characteristic traits that got you there. You got to grow into a completely new person, which is why you write real goals. And the problem with so many young entrepreneurs, and you guys are, is that, there's these bogus, fake, or not fake, but misleading self-help gurus, right, that want to sit there and advertise this and that and this and that. Yes, instant manifestation can work on a micro level. It can work on a micro level if you really have mastered the part of your spiritual mind, which is your willpower. It's only free will when you discover yourself on the inside, right? So when you master your free will and how you're going to direct it, aka, what you're going to bring back or attract to you, yes, you can instantly manifest on a micro level, but on a macro level, it doesn't work like that. And if it does, you're going to spend more time just sitting and trying to cheat without actually taking action than you could have been out actually, taking action and achieving that macro or the big goal you're wanting to achieve. So there's another law of the universe, the law of inspired action. And the issue though is, this is going to be wisdom. And I talk about it all the time, and you need to understand this phrase, that your health and your relationships always come first. Now when I say relationships, I mean, obviously only the people that you love and want to keep in your life. Some of your family members, or some people, you only want to see them once a year, right? You don't want to see them every single, month or week. Or you want to just kind of walk by them real quick at work after you say hi and just, a quick acknowledgement and then just walk straight away, right? Desperation, though, comes from this mindset that you're going to be left out, that you're going to miss out, that there's not enough. And it's why I say that gratitude is what connects you to abundance and prosperity. Everything you need to succeed is already around you. The only thing missing is you. There's infinite amounts of possibilities in this life that we live in, especially now with technology. The only thing missing is you. And the only reason you're ever going to miss out is because of you. The only problem you're ever going to have is you. And you are the only solution. Not some man-made God that a bunch of smarter people created. You are the only problem you will ever have and the only solution. This quote, I am so grateful I discovered early on in my life, or else I would not be where I am right now. And when you truly understand and love yourself, you have self-love, not an ego, then you can accept that you need to gain and do some more research. You need to do some more research. You need to develop your talents some more. You need to put in some more work, some more time, some more sacrifice, in order to attract what you're wanting to attract. Because there's nothing wrong with the world. Everything you need, there's infinite. We live in abundance. We live in prosperity. The only thing missing is you. And a lot of people are already closing out of this video because of their ego. They don't like to hear that. Their ego doesn't like that, but it's the truth. But when you truly love yourself, you're going to keep watching this video because you want to improve out of self-love. And this is where desperation comes from, right? This idea, this ignorance that, oh, there's not enough. This is it. I better jump on the opportunity. And there's another quote that I really love. It's really practical and it's really straightforward. Beggars can't be choosers. And a lot of people think they're the ones begging when they're not. It doesn't matter if you're just starting, you're a young entrepreneur, still working your 9 to 5 on the side. You are not a beggar. This is an abundant and prosperous life that we live in. Everything you need is around you. Everybody should be choosing, but you gotta have the patience. But where does patience come from? Patience comes from understanding. A deep understanding is what patience is. And when you deeply understand whatever goal it is that you're wanting to achieve, it should be a real goal, right? That's asking you to become a completely new version of yourself. You understand what you got to do to become a new version of yourself. You understand what you got to do, and you have your deadline and your timetable to where you're not desperate. And what you got to do is fill in the gaps. You fill in the gaps by doing the research, right? What am I missing? What do I have to understand? What awareness do I not have? Because the more awareness you have, the more access to abundance and prosperity you now have. The more things you understand. Don't just know. Any fool can know. Any fool can know what they heard on TV or know what they heard on the propaganda. Any fool can know what they read in some bullshit article, right? Published by the same people that own the propaganda. Any fool can know. But a wise man actually understands. So the more you understand, the more access to more abundance and prosperity you have. And you need to understand to get out of this desperation mindset that we live in an abundant and prosperous universe. Or life. The only thing missing is you need to do more research. You need to put in the time to do more research, to understand more whatever it is you want to improve. You need to put in the time to develop your talents more to where you can accomplish the goal that you now understand, how much you have to improve or self-improve to get there. But don't ever get into this desperation where you're like, I'm just going to quit my 9 to 5 on the side, or I'm going to just quit my small business that I'm building up right now just to, go after my goal or my dream. And a lot of times this is where the problem comes from, because a dream without a deadline is a goal, excuse me, a goal without a deadline is exactly that. It's a dream. It's a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream. You're going to just go right through the pipe and out into the mud. Unless if your goal has an actual written down, yes, write it down deadline, and then you write down the plan through your research that you're going to do to get to the actual deadline goal, then you're going to just be all over the place. Your life's going to be chaos. Your relationships are going to be chaos. Your health's going to be Seriously though. This is why you have a real goal, you write out a deadline, and then you obtain the awareness or the understanding through research, what you have to improve, what you have to do to get there, and then you write out the deadlines for each one. But you have to be accepting of where you are right in your life right now to where you're going to get, to where you can write out clear and realistic dates. Now, the more research you're able to do, the faster you're going to get there. The more open-minded you are, aka listening to mentors or people that can guide you or help you get there, the faster you're going to get there. But you gotta be patient while you're doing the research, while you're, asking people questions to get to your goal. And these people that just wanna, and I was so hard-headed, and I was so ambitious when I first started. And it was too much of any good thing can be a bad thing. And it was too much ambition, right? It was too much ambition. Like I see a lot of my loved ones and a lot of people in the, in the community that are good people, they're just cutting themselves short. A personal example, I knew somebody that had a small business, right? I knew somebody very close to me that had a small business. And they had spent about a month or two growing the small business, right? To where they had, income coming in, and they had, the business was going to, over, I would say a year, going to turn into something really, really special. And this person, though, was very passionate about science. They already have their 4-year degree, so they have to, get their feet wet. They have to get a little bit of experience since they just graduated. But this person, already has the business they're growing, right? And it's going to turn into something special. They're okay, right? You would think that their focus would be just developing the business into something special and then taking their time choosing, not begging, but choosing which science job they're going to work that's going to have really good hours, really good benefits, and an actual future, right? And a lot of people are like, well, that's crazy. It's not crazy. If you actually keep doing the research and just accept and trust life, that it is an abundant and infinite prosperity and abundance. It's going to come along. It might not be right now, but it's going to come along over the course of a year. Do the research of how many new science jobs are coming every week and every month, and you'll have your answer to, it's going to, within the year, it's 90% chance the right science job with the benefits, the hours, and everything else is going to come. But I have my business right now, right? But guess what? Guess what, right? Out of, the lack of wisdom or foolishness, and I'm not insulting this person. I love this person very dearly, but a science opening opens up but it's only a 4-month contract. It's only a 4-month science contract, and not only that, the hours are going to be graveyard shifts that switch every 2 weeks, and you're going to have to work 7 days a week. And guess what? They just totally ditched the business they had that was they only had to work 4 hours a day. They totally ditched the 4-hour-a-day business that was going to grow into something special, I would say, over the course of a year. They totally ditched that business for a 4-month science contract, graveyard shift, 7 days a week, just so they could get their feet wet. And to a lot of you that sounds, I don't want to insult this person because they're very close to me, but you get the point. And this is very common though. This is very common amongst young entrepreneurs. And I'm starting to finally realize, I move so quick. I moved so fucking quick, excuse my language, you know, in 10 years, you know, self-improved through 30 jobs, traveled the world. You know, there was a lot of rock bottoms though, and all of those rock bottoms came from exactly that, desperation. And, you know, I finally, over this last year, heading into this year, got my health together. Finally, my health is back together. Not only is my health back together, you know, my mental health really recovered when I started listening to subliminals about 2 years ago. But, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs, you know, and there's these fake self-help gurus, right, that you see on YouTube. Gary Vee, The Rock. They just sit there and work 48 hours straight. They sleep 4 hours a day. And they act like they're going to just be able, they're going to keep doing that for the next 10 or 15 years. One of them is going to have a heart attack. One of them is going to have a heart attack. And there's a lot of fake self-help gurus doing the same thing, right? You just work, 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 sleep 4 hours a day. Both of them just ditch their families. They both have children, and the poor little children don't even have a father figure because he's out trying to fill his insecurity with success. And they both have at least another 20 years in their working careers. I'm like, before they retire when they're 60, 65, I'm like, what are you doing? It's absolute stupidity, or excuse me, foolishness. The lack of wisdom, complete lack of wisdom out of insecurity. Out of insecurity, which is why one of them has to take steroids, right? But I'm not here to insult people. I'm just the messenger speaking the truth. Don't shoot the messenger. I want to end this video, as I said, to all of you. When you accept, through a deep understanding, that we live in an abundant and infinitely prosperous life, or universe, whatever analogy you want to use, and every religion backs this up. It's just that, you know, religion is, you know, obviously missing a lot of books or chapters. I wonder why. But when you accept this, though, it gives you the patience. As I said, patience is a deep understanding. Not just knowing what you heard from somebody on the street or an old friend, or you read on a quick internet post from somebody that's just trying to get, you know, views to fill their pockets or just get attention, right? But you actually really understand, then you have the patience. And this is me teaching you the science of life, aka wisdom. When you understand this and you have the wisdom, or you understand how the universe operates, because there's not just the law of attraction, there's 11 other laws and a lot of systems and operations to this bad boy. And I'm doing this for free because, like I said, this was something very personal to me. This was something very personal to me, as I gave you the story about 5 minutes ago of what happened. And I know this is very common amongst all of you. And all of you young entrepreneurs, even if just one or two, you know, maybe in a couple of months, 10, 15, a year, you know, 50, a couple hundred, only watch this video, since I don't do any marketing. I don't pay to market my YouTube channel anymore. It's just silly. Maybe pay like $60 a month just for, you know, a couple very small ads. This is the one message. Don't be desperate. Don't drink the poison. Understand that we live in an abundant and prosperous universe. The only thing lacking is your awareness. You need to gain more understanding of whatever it is. And above all, you need to have a real goal. Write a real goal that's going to ask you to become a completely new version of yourself, and then do the research and come up with a plan through your new understanding of how you're going to get there. But don't just ditch whatever you're working on right now. Don't just throw away whatever it is that you're doing right now to just to get there. You know, the average successful person, you know, has at least 7 sources of income. And they don't get there, you know, they're not going to get there until they're 30, 35, maybe even 40. I'm not saying you all need 7 sources of income, but do you think when they got to all 7 sources of income, when they had 1 or 2, do you think they saw number 3 and just ditched these just to get to number 3? No. Don't be all over the place. Too much of any good thing can be a bad thing. And ambition is a fool's weapon. I don't believe in ambition anymore. I think ambition is a fool's weapon. It's a very deadly poison. I believe in harmony and balance. Harmony and balance, you can never have too much harmony and balance. Harmony and balance. Harmony and balance is what you need. The wiser you get, the more harmony, you realize how important harmony and balance is in all three pillars of your life. Success, or your work, your health, and your relationships. All three need to balance, or else you will never, never have a happy life. You will never have joy. You will never have true love. All three need to balance, but work always comes last. Your health is always number one. Your relationships with your significant others. I'm not talking about all your random Facebook friends. I'm talking about your direct significant others are always first and second. Because if you don't have healthy relationships with your significant others and time to actually spend quality time with your significant others, you're not working 7 days a week, slaved just for you can get your feet wet. When you could have just waited 6 more months or a year, and and this goes not just to the person I'm referring to, but all of you, or all of us, you could have just waited 6 months or a year to get a job that would have had benefits, good hours, an actual future. Don't cut yourself short. And now your relationships are all over the place. Now your relationships are all out of whack with your significant others because you're working 7 days a week, this, and that. Now your health is all out of whack. And you may have to be patient. You may have to live maybe at your mommy and daddy's house again. You may have to, as I said, stay at that 9 to 5 for another year or 6 months that you really don't like. But you need to do it while you build stabilization to get to your goal. Because there's two other routes. There's two other choices. One, you're either going to cheat and you're not going to actually earn it, and then in the long run you're going to end up right back where you started, or you're going to end up killing yourself on the inside. Or there's option number 2, you're going to be desperate and cut yourself short. There is no third choice. The third choice is being patient and being harmonized and being balanced and having your 3 pillars of life, your priorities, straightened out. And a lot of you are headstrong, just like baby Luke was. Just like baby Luke was. But heed my warning, and I'm proud of you that watch this video and actually really think about it. And those the 1% that actually apply it, or that handful of people, come back in a couple of years and tell me how much this video really changed your life, because it will. It will, if you're willing to actually listen and apply it. But I'm not here to force any of you. I just wanted to get this out as an option or an invitation to really change some of your guys' lives. Have a beautiful week, have a beautiful day, and have a beautiful year.